Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy. Today we're looking at the Hybrid Carnival. This is an affordable hybrid minivan. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Jerry Sander Kia for giving me some time with this Carnival. Link to the website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 1.6 liter turbo 4-cylinder that is paired to a 6-speed and a hybrid. Fuel economy is 34 around town, 31 on the highway, with power outputs being 242 horsepower and then 271 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. I really like this silver paint job. It looks fantastic. Really shows off the body lines of the hood. The Carnival comes with these cool amber lights and just the overall headlight design is pretty boxy. And even this more entry-level package has really nice trim with the grille here. There's also parking sensors up front and just overall it's good looking for a minivan, I think. Our turn wheel setup is 235 by 55 by 19. You can see very kind of like squared off chunky design for the wheels. They are metallic gray too. And this right here really shows off that silver paint well. You have nice elements like body painted mirror caps. You also have the blacked out pillars. And you'll note the side profile here again, very boxy to make it look less like a minivan and more like an SUV. Now when it comes to the key fob, you got the Kia logo on it. We have our lock and unlock function. You got the opening for the hatch, remote start, and then the opening for the sliding doors also on the key fob. So if you have the seat folded up in the normal position, you've got this really low load floor which gives you tons of vertical space. But you can also stow the seats into the floor there, which gives you kind of like a flat-ish load floor across. And there's a 12-volt here in the back, and on the other side there is extra storage. And this is power, by the way, for the hatch. Pretty cool taillights that lead to the light bar here in the rear. Other than the HEV badge there on the back, there's not much else to go over. Now these doors are power sliding for the open function. You got these nice seats with perforations all down the center. Pretty good legroom here in the second row. I also have a little storage pocket. We've got some cup holders. You can adjust the front passenger seat here from the rear. There's also a 12-volt and then a little USB on the seat. And on top of that, we have our own climate zone in the back and vents throughout the top. Headroom in the rear here is pretty darn good. One pull of that latch will move the seat here forward. I'd say accessing the third row here is pretty easy. I've got some cup holders back here and then another little USB port. And because the seating position here is a little bit lower, I actually have a decent amount of headroom, and it looks like I also have a sunshade here in the back. Let's now pop up front. We've got nice soft touch trim up above. Down below where you're going to rest your arm. Regular window controls, the mirrors power fold, and we also have memory seats and blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. The front seats have that same nice trim as what we saw in the second row, and notice the seat's power adjustable and has lumbar support. It actually comes with a tow mode. You can turn off the stability control if you want, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. This is normally where I turn on the car, but the car is already on because it's charging its battery because it was dead. Anywho, we got soft touch trim all around the steering wheel, Kia logo front and center. Controls for the adaptive cruise control and the lane centering, and then you got your volume and voice command controls there on the other side. Little paddles here on the back, and then you also have regular stalks there in the back too. Full digital gauge cluster in the center, which we can use to scroll through different bits of information on the vehicle, and then this will also display the drive modes. It doesn't change the screen, just changes how the car performs. Backup camera in reverse, pretty good resolution overall. And as for the infotainment system, it's quick to respond. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. They do large tabs on it as well. I've got this set of climate controls down below, but it's actually multifunction because I press that, and now as you can see, it is radio controls. Got some USB ports down below. We also have a wireless phone charging pad. A little dial shifter, your drive mode selects here, auto hold, parking brake, some cup holders. This does come with heated seats. You got that for the parking sensors and then for the camera to turn that on. And then a decent sized center console with some nice trim on top. There is soft touch trim all across the dash and then a cool design with the vent there. And then up top here we do have some controls for the power doors and then the lights. So this is a Carnival EX. Total MSRP on this is $45,140. Let's see how this Carnival Hybrid performs. Let's set off in the Carnival. Sorry, excuse me. I need some water. As soon as I start filming, like my throat's fine, then as soon as I start filming, it's like, I'm dying. Okay. So the reason I mentioned it's dead is, yeah, that's the one downside about hybrids. I think some people think that hybrids like can't die, right? Because they got such a big battery. But no, just like a regular car, they can die. There's only one hybrid that I know of that's not a problem. The new Lexus LX 700H, they made a redundancy where if the battery dies, you can still start up the car, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. Now, it wasn't the hybrid battery that was dead, it was the starter. Because the hybrid battery had charge. Anyways. Or actually, does this one even have a starter? You know what? All we need to know is it was dead, we had to jump it, and it was pretty easy to jump. So, we'll move on. Seats are pretty comfortable, so that's a plus. Oh, one downside about this not being all-wheel drive like the Toyota, traction's not as good. So not the end of the world, it's just something to take into account. Not too bad over the train tracks though, I will say. It's a pretty comfortable ride. And the braking's not weird. It's funny it's got paddles. I mean, it does have a 6-speed automatic, but I feel like people buying hybrids don't really care about manually shifting. But it is always nice to have the feature. 1.6 with a 6-speed. Crazy. Would have never thought that would be a thing back in the day. Now, the nice thing about minivans is they've got a pretty long wheelbase, and so smooths out the ride a bit. I think that's a big plus for a lot of people. Because again, you're moving people around, you want to be comfortable. But it doesn't have hardcore off-road shocks or anything, so over the big bumps, you're still going to feel them. Like that. But not bad. Not bad. The interior is very spacious in this. That's something that I actually really like. I think that helps out with, obviously, utility, right? Because this is a people mover. But just helps out with making this feel like a more family-friendly vehicle. Because if you have a lot of people in a vehicle, you don't want it to also feel like crammed in. You want it to be kind of nice and open like this is. I'm surprised they didn't do the storage underneath the center console here. That's usually something that automakers will do with these minivans to make it so there's even more storage. Like this actually doesn't have a ton of storage up front for a minivan. I wonder if part of that's because of the hybrid. Could be to store stuff. Wouldn't be surprised. Get our acceleration here and see how it scoots. Ooh! Yeah, it's kind of pulling the steering wheel all over the place. It's got so much power in its front wheel drive. It's kind of a little bit of a fight. Not bad though. So in summary, I think this is pretty comfortable. It's got a nice interior, it's got nice features. The biggest benefit of this over the Toyota, a few things. For those you worried about reliability, you got that big warranty. It's like, 10-year warranty on the powertrain? Are you going to keep the car for more than 10 years? Be honest with yourself, probably not. Probably not. You'll probably trade out into a new car after 3 to 5 years like most people. So warranty's got you covered on that. And then the all-wheel drive, not a deal killer unless you really need it. Like here in Utah, some places, like where we live, yeah, we need all-wheel drive. But a lot of places, yeah, got a good set of snow tires, you'll be fine. But the other thing that I see as a big benefit over Toyota, other than the warranty's great, the price. I rarely see Siennas for less than 50,000 MSRP delivered to dealers. And then on top of that, you gotta get on a wait list to get one. So it's like, oh, you want a Sienna? Well, 3 to 6 to 12 months. This, you can pick it up today. And that means you can probably do a little bit of wheeling. I mean, I saw some discount on their website, so you could probably do a little bit of wheeling and dealing, you know what I mean? Whereas a Sienna, it's like full MSRP, I don't care. We know what we got, we're Toyota, right? So, definitely a benefit being able to get it right off the bat, but let me know your thoughts.